To continue the list, or walking around the wheel of products, we'll just have a quick look to the urban part. And the urban part, we use the product called MyUrban. It's for all water networks within the city. And subdivided, you can say, into two main modules. There's a model for the water distribution as listed here, and there's a model for collection systems. So water distribution contains a lot of features for distribution of water, of course, different types of simulation states, water hammer, including in the pipes. And the collection systems contains a number of modules and features, as we will just see. But basically dealing with wastewater and stormwater. The MyUrban package, you can call it hydraulics and hydrology with a GIS look and feel. It is like the MyBasin product embedded within ArcGIS. So it's developed using ArcGIS technology, and with a lot of benefits of that, of course, and also some drawbacks. One of the benefits is that we have all the data from the model. ESRI uses the approach of like a geodatabase, where they contain and store all data. So once you know the structure of a geodatabase, you are able to sort of access and define models, also even with your own tools, so to say. It's not a say ESRI-based file structure, but we're using the database format of ESRI. Just a quick look at the collection systems and the features of that one. Different type of projects. What would be the questions asked? Well, it could be, we know we have problems in local areas, probably due to capacity problems. So what would be the risk, or what would happen if we replace like local pipes, maybe increase them to double diameter? What will happen? Would we solve the problem here and just move it somewhere else, or is that a complete solution? We would like to know from a maintenance point of view very often where we actually have sediments in the pipe system. We need to go out and clean the pipes occasionally to maintain the capacity of the system. And why do we see continuous problems like illustrated with the pictures here? Why do we have such a reduced capacity in local areas? That's one of the things that we can use the MyUrban model for as well. So it includes studies of the combined sewer and sanitary sewer overflow. Real-time control is an important feature in many systems, because you're actually able to sort of control gates within the pipe system to optimize the storage of water in one part until you have the capacity available in the downstream part. So that operation of real-time system, real-time control is a very important feature. Designing new sites, we use that for this as well. What kind of pipe diameters are required, how complex will the pipe system need to be, etc., etc. And analysis of the existing systems. What can it take? Existing storms, what happens with, say, climate change when we have a much more severe rainfalls occurring? Are the systems that we have at present able to cope with that? So again, a long list of the modules that is included within MyUrban. Design module, hydrology and hydrodynamics, the different control parts. Again, we can look at the sediment transport and the quality of the water within the system. So literally many of these modules are sort of adding as add-on things. You activate them if you need them, and you deactivate them when you don't need them. So that depends on your project. Another problem that we see from many of the pictures is the flooding within the urban areas. And not to read all the causes here, but that's just a list of typical causes for the flooding that we see in many cities these days. Just want to say that when we have a MyUrban model, here it says mouse/MyUrban. If you look into using this model, you will maybe see mouse listed somewhere. And mouse is, you can say that was the name of this model some years ago. As I said, mouse stands for modeling of urban sewers. We kind of shifted the name at the time where we combined the collection system and the water distribution into just one model framework. So that's where it became MyUrban. What we do is we take an existing model of the urban and simply add on the Mach 21 model basically. Now we add on the surface description, so we take a terrain model that includes information on streets, buildings, etc. And then whatever water sort of flows onto the surface, it will be calculated using a two-dimensional model on the surface. So there is a 2D overland flow model equivalent to the Mach 21 we just discussed, fully integrated within this MicUrban package. And the typical results that we will see from that is, well, we can look at time series at individual points, but of general interest typically is to see the maximum flood extent. So for a certain rainfall, storm event, we let the model go and we see where do we have water coming on the surface and eventually how large areas are actually being affected. So this is also one of the very useful outputs from an urban flooding simulation like we see here. So that's a combination with the collection system and the surface model. So we have a flood component there. On the water distribution side, again, we can look at the design of the systems, what is most optimal. For instance, in the case of fire in the city or somewhere else, do we have enough water? Do we have enough pressure? So we can look at that and optimize that with the model. Leakages is a big problem in many areas of the world. The model can be used to identify approximately where they are and what can we eventually do to at least minimize them, if not prevent them. Augmentations to the systems, or also looking at the quality of the water that is brought to our taps. Different type of usages. Rehabilitation. Yeah, well, we can look at the design to optimize that, optimize the pressure, the flows within the system. We need to have reliable, or we at least have a desire for reliable water distribution and high quality. And if we as engineers can set up a model that secures these things and implement that in the real environment, we will have some happy consumers, and at the end of the day, that is what we're looking for. Now, on the design side, the models, as we have discussed a couple of times, many of the projects that we're doing is actually doing, say, what if we set up a model that we believe is working very well, and then we use the models as what if we do this, what happens? If we try this, what happens? So again, in a design situation, for network distribution of water, we want to find out where do we actually build the tanks. Like where do we add in pumps, where do we add in control features within our network. And the models can tell us what is the most optimal on the different types of conditions. The same goes for these fire flow problems. We can use the model to identify different hours of the day, different days of the week. Do we have enough pressure? Do we have enough water? What would happen if we, for instance, should have more fires within the city in the same day? Can we cope with that, or are the systems falling together then? So those type of studies can be looked into as well with this water distribution module. And finally, the water quality aspects. We need high quality drinking water, if possible at all. So we can use this model to sort of trace and find out what is the quality. In this case, the simulation is just adding a tracer, so to say, in a location upstream in the water distribution network, and we can see when and where do we have a certain concentration of this tracer pollutant. So that is the kind of project that can also be done, that we simply sit on the table, do some scenarios, adding some, say, pollution into the system, and see how it will develop within the area that we want. So the urban package, as said, contains the collection system and the water distribution network, and that is what we will go for when we're dealing with the urban aspect.